Happy day, happy part 3 of our intro breakdown series. So I've got my awesome team here, Hope and Larissa. Larissa will be giving some advancements in this final part of the series. Hope will be giving you some places to focus on just one part of the body instead of multiple. Remember that this informative 3-part series is about helping you integrate into all 5 parts of our awesome Be Inspired program. There's yin yoga, which is restorative and on the ground. There's sculpt, that's fun and with weights and more fast pace. There's an amazing experience of power yoga, so that's the breakdown and kind of the baseline of many of our traditional yoga poses that help restore and build mobility. There's also lifting, like a boot camp or a weight training workout. And all of the baseline of this yoga work that we do is also used in our weight training, except you add heavy weights to it. And then finally, meditations. And the thing about meditation is it's just meant to be a mindful moment to reflect and go inward. It has nothing really to do with enlightenment per se, especially in our A-type 21st century culture. It's really just a time for you to check in with the most important person, and probably why you showed up to this program is you. So the 3 pillars we work with are building strength, endurance, building a space in you that you have a confident fucking structure. Then we have balance. We achieve balance of play and fun, but also rest and restore, sometimes some tequila. And then also we break through, and that's what we're gonna focus on today, is being brave enough to see what's on the other side of the sensation. A lot of bad things and feelings that are perceivably bad might come up in the experience. My offering to you is to be brave enough today to break through, because the only way to heal is to go through it and break down. It's breaking down the muscle like we're gonna do today enables you to actually see what's on the other side. It's more free, more open, and it's oftentimes not as scary as we make it out to be. So today we're gonna start in child's pose. You'll come to a seated or tabletop position. Remember, we always start with our bones stacked, so shoulders and wrists aligned. Then take a deep breath in so that you feel it in your abdomen. Exhale, push back into child's pose. Untuck your toes and sink your hips back against your heels. Now, it might feel good to kind of stay here or drop your head down. It might feel good to widen your knees to make room for like a Buddha belly. I want your abs to hang out. It also might feel good to flip your palms to face up. Yeah, good. Awesome. And what that palm facing up thing does is supinate. It's like you're holding a bowl. It's going to create more space in your back muscles and shoulders. If something doesn't touch the ground right now, like if it doesn't feel good, you can use a pillow. You can bring the ground closer to you with a pillow or a block. So I'm going to give one to Hope, even though she doesn't necessarily need it, as an example. Lift your head up for me and use it just as a little, there you go. And sometimes it just feels damn better. Child's pose is often a place people start a yoga class because your heart is above your head. It's an inversion. And so now fresh, oxygen-rich energy is pouring from your heart space down into the head. And why we care is that your spine, if you imagine it like a giant fiber optic cable, we care to keep that fiber optic cable full of nerve endings strong. It's the super highway of our energy, that when you can stand in a tall posture with your heart open, that there's a space of pride and confidence in who we are. And so through the workouts that we do together, through the mindset training, the modules that we do, and the quick meditations, or even just this 25-minute practice, it enables you to have a taller, more supple fiber optic cable to stand with your heart forward, a little bit more brave. Take a deep breath in so much that your ribs expand laterally like a balloon in your belly. Exhale, let it soften, and pull your abs in. Drain all of the air so it's like a crunch. All right, pull up to a tabletop, and Hope you could just put the pillow off to your side for now. Breathe in. Downward facing dog, tuck your toes under. Use your core muscles to hike your butt in the air. If you remember from the first 2 videos, down dog is a pose that helps to strengthen your back muscles. So the intention first and foremost is that your back is straight. Micro bend your knees so that you can almost like tip the bowl of your pelvis up. Yeah, pull your elbows in. Now there's no right way to do any of this except if there's striking pain. Yoga is a practice, yoga practiced, not a yoga perfect. So you're right now conditioning your body day after day to get more acquainted with your flexibility and your strength. Already, the cerebral spinal fluid that lines from the base of your spine to your skull into the brain is getting a nice reset, a flush. Your body becomes alive in this place of being upside down. All right, everyone, inhale your right leg to the sky. And when I say that breath in the beginning before the pose, I want you to actually do it. You take a deep breath in, don't forget to breathe. Exhale, pull your knee to kiss your lips. Now, it may be accessible for you to actually kiss your knee today, but if it's not, pretend and hike your body forward. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hands, breathe in. Step your foot as far forward as you can to a low lunge. If you have to wiggle your foot to get there, that's fine. Stack your knee over your ankle. Inhale, come up to a lunge position. Lift your arms skyward. Any shoulder sensitivity, you can always keep your hands at your heart. Anytime you lift your arms up, it's gonna be super challenging on your shoulders. So I'm gonna have Hope today bring her hands to her heart if she was nursing any shoulder injury. Awesome. So we've got our crescent pretty stable. This is the base for our weightlifting lunges. Now let's move into a lateral lunge. Pivot your heels down and sit back into your right leg. Pretend, with your right knee bent, that you were gonna actually sit into a chair. Just bend your right leg up. Your right, not your left. There you go. In yoga, it's pretty challenging to know rights and lefts, especially when you're watching us on a video. So be mindful with yourself. If you did right on one side, you do left on the other. It's fine. As you sit back, the weight is always in your heels to protect your knees, lighten up your toes. Then keep your gaze up. Your gaze matters. Look forward for me. Yeah. And pretend, I'm gonna challenge you a little. Maybe I'll do this to Larissa. I won't do this to you. Larissa can actually sit on this block because she's so low that her inner thighs are nice and strong. Take a deep breath in, then just straighten your leg and stand up. All right, we're gonna take 5 of those, same leg. I want you to practice your depth. Inhale, sit back so far it was like you were falling, and then drive up and squeeze your glutes at the top. Inhale, getting length and strong through your inner and outer thighs, and then coming up. 2 or 3 more, depending if you're with us. As you go down and up, I want you to challenge where you think your edge point is. Because the cool part is, the edge has the best view. And breakthroughs happen in the breakdowns. How we get a breakdown is by fucking burning and find that resistance. So now sit into your right leg. Take your left hand for the ground, and you can either rest your right arm on your right thigh, like Hope's doing, or twist your arm up to the sky. Lift your right palm to the sky. 3 breaths. Good, that's perfect, Hope. Hope's got her fingertips tented kind of like spider fingers so that it gives more height. Larissa's got a great spinal twist, but it's gonna be hard to breathe. Find the place where your breath is short, and that's where the yoga really starts. That's where the transformation starts. Breaking the stuck energy so that you can flow more easily. Inhale. Exhale, Prasarita, turn your toes in and let your head just fall down. We're gonna be here for about 5 breaths. Micro bend your knees always to protect your joints. In this position, you're feeling like your upper body's disconnected from your lower body. This is such a medicinal pose. It's almost like the more you forward fold, it's like brushing your teeth. Every day you don't actually see the cavities being removed, but you trust the process that day by day you're protecting your enamel, you're protecting your teeth. But in yoga, it's the exact same thing. We're brushing our teeth, we're flossing our body so that we're protecting ourselves from future injury. All right, bend your knees a lot, stand up with strength, inhale to star pose, just like 5-pointed star. Exhale, low lunge. We're gonna swing to half pigeon. So bring your hands forward in front of your right leg. Right leg swings back up, breathe in. Half pigeon, bring your right leg through. Now we're making a 7 shape in the leg. Here's what's important to me, that you feel a right butt stretch. Drop your head down. This may feel easy. If it does not, don't worry. I want you to roll the weight onto your right butt cheek with me. And then Hope, will you do this with me too? Roll over onto your right butt cheek. Then pull your left knee up towards your right foot. Exactly. So I'll move my formation this way. And then just kind of bow forward. It's taking some tension out of your knee. If you've got knee sensitivity, I still want you to get the gooey stretch that happens in a half pigeon. It's this medicine for your low back, and if you have sciatica or piriformis syndrome, or you just have tight back in general, this pose is so good to protect your back. So if it hurts your knee at all or there's some stinging pain, take this variation that Hope has, kind of make it a zigzag. Otherwise, we're going to be here for about a minute more. My hope is that as you settle, your intimacy with your breath deepens. The knowledge that you feel, the connection you have with the song of your inhale and the song of your exhale, that experience deepens. You see, this Be Inspired program, everything we've built our entire life on is the idea that we got another breath. That this morning we woke up conscious, and that something, we don't have to know what it is, keeps us breathing in and breathing out. That something is letting our heart continue to beat over 1,000 times since we've just started this session together. And just the simple, microscopic recognition of your breath can astronomically change the way that you lead your life, both in gratitude for the fact that we got a breath, but also being able to be a beacon of light in the world. You've taken a chance on this program that every day you're going to dedicate yourself to something that makes you a little bit better, helps you grow. That in and of itself, as an aging human, is astronomically important. Congratulations, because you've decided to continue to evolve instead of close down. Give yourself a silent thank you even just for that. Today is I break down to break through. Inhale, I break down. Exhale to break through. Crawl back up to your palms in any shape or form. Engage your core muscles. Then roll up so that you can kick your leg to the sky. Breathe in. Work into side plank. So just shift the left hand under your left shoulder, scissor your legs, and lift your right palm up to the sky. We're only here for 10 seconds. You can also drop your bottom left knee under your hip to focus on your upper body alignment. Take an inhale, maybe you look up to challenge your gaze. It's always harder to balance when you look up. Downward facing dog, both hands to the earth, hike your hips to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out. Send your left leg into pigeon. You may want to hike it up first and then swing it. Left knee towards left wrist, right hand towards right toes. Stay here and settle down. You can use your pillow or even roll weight left and pull your right knee up. As you expand your ability to settle and soften, even stretching becomes easier. I can't tell you how many NFL people I've trained or professional athletes in all types of sports that have come to me, and this pose that you're in right now is the hardest one. That just staying still and being brave enough to be patient, that work is some of the hardest stuff that we can do. The heaviest linebackers that get hit time and time again find this to be some of the most challenging and most fulfilling things that they do. See if there's even tension in your face, your tongue, your lips. A big part of what we do together, the integration of so many different formats, yoga sculpt, power yoga, meditations, lifting, the restorative yin practice. It's a full balanced composition to make you have the experience of knowing yourself better. And that through this self-inquiry that you're doing, how does it feel right now? What's touching the ground? How is my breath? How's my thoughts? That self-inquiry every day, that conditioning of doing it gets easier. And that we start to shed old thought patterns, and you don't have to know how you're gonna get there. Don't worry yourself with that. Just commit to the practice of consistently showing up. Because right now is the time to start. To make the commitment to looking forward to doing something different and fun and new each day. And no one said it's gonna be easy. They really just said it would be worth it. Sitting in your worthiness, everything you're fucking worth. This is your moment to take your power back. Congratulating yourself for stepping into this space. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Walk yourself back to your palms, engage your core, lift into a three-legged dog or whatever kind of dance you played to breathe. Spice up your left ankle, get synovial fluid to pump back in your joints. Shift into side plank. Right palm is directly under your shoulder. Lift up. You can stagger your feet, or like me in Hope, you could drop your bottom knee, just 3 breaths. Make the choice to see what's on the other side of that little bit of resistance. I don't want to, whatever, the discomfort. That's where the breakthroughs happen. That's where you're proud of yourself. Breathe in. Exhale, drop to tabletop. Send your legs out in front of you. Let's take a seated forward fold. So bend your knees pretty heavy. Flex your toes. And reach forward. You'll notice that my abs touch my thighs, just like the same rules that we say in a standing forward fold. But then once your abs are on your thighs, you can straighten out a little bit. Relax your head and neck. If it's comfortable on your body to slide in, cool. With Hope, I'm gonna have her bend her knees just a little bit more. Good, more. Perfect. Now you can see her torso stays connected to her legs. It might not even be accessible for you to even hold your feet, so Hope, let's have you put your hands by your sides. Yeah, awesome. Just fold. Awesome. That's perfect. As long as you get length in the erector spine and your back muscles, that's what we're working on. Locking out your joints may pull a little bit too much on the ligaments and tendons, so we want to keep a micro bend always in the joints so you're braced for impact, but also to protect the longevity of that joint that takes so much pressure all day long. And then check in with the breath. I fall victim all the time. I'm an A-type checklist kind of person that is a human doing. I do, go. I basically jump and then ask for forgiveness. And sometimes, although I love that strength about myself, that crass Jersey part of me, I also want to focus my attention on being a human being. Not a human doing. That in this moment, although your mind takes 1,000 different directions, that's normal, gently come back to the mantra. I break down, inhale, to break through, exhale. Maybe it's just breathe in and breathe out. And having the patience to know that this discomfort equates to something grandiose, something you may not even understand yet. And yet, the conditioning of what you're doing now protects the longevity of the future breaths that we get to have. Being present, take an inhale. exhale, slowly roll down to your back. Take it slow. The slower you go, the more core strength you build. Oh yeah. Bridge pose, please. Plant your feet under your knees. So we're stacking the bones. Push up and lift. Now in any strength training or yoga, you always want to focus on what's touching the ground first. You have to ask, am I stable and safe? This is a perfect place to stay. We're going to do a lot of back bends like this in all of our training. When you lift up, pull your abdomen down on the exhale and squeeze your glutes up. This is bridge. It's great. It's also an inversion. Now, you could stay, or I'm going to demo wheel pose for you. It's very challenging and it's a huge upgrade, but it's an important thing to tell and talk about, especially as you're embarking on some of the crazy shit we do in this programming. Your fingertips work by your ears. I siphon my elbows in as close as I can. I'm even going to move my feet a little bit closer. Then I take a breath. I push into my hands and heels onto the crown of my head. That might be where I stay today. Or if I feel successful to push up and back, it's a nice back bend to straighten up and back. Now remember, I've been working for years on this, so this isn't the goal. There's actually no real goals in yoga. The goal is to challenge yourself in a way that's comfortable, but you feel like you're growing. Nice, Larissa. Take about 5 more breaths. If you want to play with wheel, fingertips face back. Go to the crown of your head first. And then push and lift. The exit is tucking your chin, slowly coming back to bridge. And then everybody let's meet in butterfly. Drop your butt, bring your feet to touch, and your knees go open wide. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. So your lungs, the flesh of your lungs, if I were to take them out of a cadaver and spread them, it'd be the entire length of a tennis court. Knowing there's 2 lobes in the left and 3 in the right, your lungs have that wingspan, the energetic length to stretch a tennis court. Maybe, just maybe, you breathe a little bit deeper. As you inhale, can you hold at the top of your breath? Like literally hold and lift and lift and lift and lift and lift so much that you're totally sure that you've got the very last sip of the inhale. And then you slowly let the breath drip out. Like you're savoring the exhale, giving back the goodness. When I teach kids, I often say about a birthday candle, right? You take a big breath in and then they get so excited to blow the candle out that you go across all the candles. Maybe kids don't have as many candles. But the kids have to have a big enough breath to blow out all the candles, right? Savor it. And then, if you like coffee or something delicious in a drink, I want you to inhale like you're sipping in and savoring that sweet breath. If there is anything that you get from these sessions, it's the importance of recognizing the moment and your breath. Inhaling together, exhaling together. I hope you can start to feel it, especially if you've completed this 3-part series, this introduction. I hope that there's a little tingling, a tiny bit of excitement at the tips of your nerves. Knowing that something's about to start, something important. That you took the time and made the commitment to yourself. The one person you're stuck with the rest of your fucking life is you. And it's important to me that you care about you. If you think about your head as a home, do you let random ass people off the street and bad energy into your home? So we'll work together in this programming to not just condition your body, this vessel, cool, will condition to keep the bad thoughts and the bad neighbors out of your home. To shed old thought patterns that you may not even know that you had. Truths that you may have held once as true now start to become a different kind of possibility. That who you are right now is a jumping point into the rest of your life. And as you take these classes, as you work the work, do the journal entries, invite yourself into the communities, connect and get uncomfortable, break down old things to create new breakthroughs in something else, that your life starts to expand. And just like my sweatshirt, the brand new, we always say something amazing is gonna happen today, because you don't fucking know. I like to think of the cell phone. 30 years ago, we couldn't even fathom the cell phone. That in our hand, I can FaceTime someone in China and text immediately someone in Italy and figure out the answer or the spelling or the calculator multiplying of anything I want at any time. Think about your capacity energetically to expand in the way that the cell phone expanded our world in your own world. You don't have to know how to build a cell phone. You just have to be open to the possibility of your own futuristic growth. That something is waiting for you that you can't even imagine, whether it's in your relationships, in your finances, in your health, or in your spiritual connection. You don't have to know the how. Just show up and condition with us every day to build, to create balance, and to work on those breakthroughs so that you can be a human being inspired. Take your arms up and over your head, inhale. Pull your knees into your chest and roll into fetal pose and pause there for me. So you're gonna roll onto your side, your right ear and your bicep like a pillow, just pause. You went from an open pose like a corpse or a butterfly to a fetal pose, and what that means is you're resetting. That every time you end a sweat sesh with us, you make the conscious decision to reset. What is behind you, you can't change, and what's in front of you, you can't really control. All you have right now is the energetic choice to reset and be fresh and open to what's here. And sometimes, when I'm in fetal pose, I feel comforted. It's like I was laying on my mom's boob. And it's weird because my mom passed of breast cancer when I was 14. I think about, like, she had a very big bosom. I think about as a kid laying lovingly on her boob and her arm like a pillow. And I think about what would have happened if I didn't take her death and her passing as a gateway and a portal into something better for me. Into being a lighthouse so that we can see that this life is just a fucking joke, it's short. And we have to go into this world being the best version of ourselves, being grateful for the breath, and living an inspired life. So from this point, pretending that you're held, maybe like on Kathy's bosom, you press up to a seat with us and we'll end our session in a seated meditation. Cross-angled or on your shins, whatever's comfortable, bring your thumbs to your heart. To be inspired is to be in the moment, present with it, but also to remember that your inhale is the most important thing we've got. The energy system, days and weeks even without food and water, but only seconds without this energy plug, this battery pack. Inspired by who you are, and I'm so grateful that you chose to do this with us. I want you to repeat after me out loud in your home. Hey today, I'm ready for the best day of my life. It's a choice I make to show up in love, to break down, to break through, to know myself, even if it's ugly, to get uncomfortable, to know more about everything that I am. This life's a game, and I'm ready to play it. Bring it on, motherfuckers. If you don't have to curse if you don't want to. Everyone take a deep breath in. Namaste. Feel free to redo this 3-part series. I've broken down a lot of the skeleton and the baseline stuff for you. you're ready to jump right into anything. There's awesome playlists ready for you. You can take it a yin and a restore before bed, or maybe when you first wake up, and then you sculpt midday to get that blood flow in your heart up. You can take on a vinyasa practice to connect a little bit deeper to the longevity muscles and the mobility that we want for the rest of our lives. You can take on a lifting class to see some definition and maybe shed a few pounds and build some muscle. There's so many awesome options for you. Pick and choose any playlist that serves your heart. And as always, we're here to connect with you. This is my awesome team, and we'll be here to answer any questions that you have. Welcome to the family, and thank you for showing up. That is my love language. It's the most honor you could give me just by being here with me.